It's unbelievable. It's just gorgeous. From the typography on this lock screen, to the vitality of the background and the animation, to the home screen with these icons. Looks so great. They just look fantastic. And you know, a lot of us have our own wallpaper. You know, we like pictures of our family there. And now that liveliness actually carries through to the home screen, because as you move the device in your hand, it actually tracks your motion and has parallax that you can see behind the icons. It's really incredible. And it carries over across the system, this liveliness. I mean, just take a look at something like weather, where the motion conveys this information and where the edge-to-edge design just takes advantage of every pixel on that Retina display. It's so nice. It's great for apps you use every day, like messages, your calendar. Your email is gorgeous. Your friends never looked more attractive. And Game Center, we just completely ran out of green felt. And wood as well. This has got to be good for the environment. The clocks look great. And even apps like Stocks and Compass, I mean, they just have this look of precision, this sense of purpose. The best way to appreciate iOS 7 is to see it live. I'd like to give you a demo right now. So let's take our first live look at iOS 7. Here it is. You can see how the device actually responds to the motion in my hand. Just slide out the lock screen. You see how it slides in. Now, I want you all to look away for a moment while I type in my... OK, you can look again. OK, don't tell anyone about that. All right. So here we are on the gorgeous new home screen. Let's go into weather. You see on weather, it's a little cloudy today. I can actually tap here. The degrees get more information like humidity and rain. Let's swipe through some locations. Clear in Sydney. Kind of hot in Phoenix. Here in Big Thunder Mountain, it's looking a little rough. We've got some thunder brewing. Oh yeah. Some heavy snow here in the North Pole. And tropical storm here in Gilligan's Island. I hope they got off that island. So, and it's more functional than ever. If you pinch, you get this gorgeous overview of all your cities. Even with the time, so it's a world clock as well. Let's take a look at the calendar. So clean. It's swipe from days to day like this. Turn it into landscape. See your whole week at a glance. Got a big week ahead. Zoom out. Scroll easily through your months. And even go all the way out to the year. Let's take a look at messages. Notice as we scroll, we have this great sort of playful motion of the bubbles. Let's bring up the keyboard. As you slide contents of the keyboard, you see the layering and transparency. Gives you that sense of context. There's this gesture now from the left edge of the device. It's great for using the device with one hand. If I want to just go back, I can just swipe from the edge of the display, pull back like that, move in and out. So clean and natural. Let's take a look at folders. I'm going to go here into my games folder. I can now have multiple pages. Store hundreds of items in my folders. It's awesome. Take a look at Game Center. Some of those good-looking friends. Let's take a look at Mail. The type is just so clean. When you drill into a message, look at how you get these full screen, edge-to-edge photos. It's really great. And that gesture for moving in and out works here too, of course. It's just move between messages, just like this. It's so great. And if you just slide across on any item, you can get at the trash and more options as well, right here in Mail. Finally, let's take a look at Notification Center. Same as always, we can just swipe down from the top of the device. It comes down with a nice thud. You can see all notifications, just my missed ones. And we have this great new Today view. So you can see your friends' birthdays, current look at the weather, your upcoming invitations, your calendar, your stocks, and even a quick look at tomorrow. You know what's really great is for the first time ever, Notification Center is now available from the lock screen as well. You don't even have to unlock your device. So that's a quick look at iOS 7. It's a comprehensive end-to-end redesign of the user experience. Installing iOS 7 on your phone is like getting an entirely new phone, but one you already know how to use, one that's so much more beautiful and functional than ever before. But iOS 7 is actually more than that. It's also a major feature release as well. I have 10 features I want to talk to you about today, starting with Control Center. Control Center is something that's so simple and yet so essential. You have those switches that you just want to get to really quickly from wherever you are. Well, now with Control Center, swipe up from the bottom of the device, and there they are. Turn on airplane mode, adjust your brightness, play a song, even get a flashlight. And available from anywhere, including your lock screen. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and you need to find something, your flashlight's right there. And that's Control Center. Next, let's talk about multitasking. Now, iOS 7 has always been built on the industrial strength foundations of OS X. It's had intrinsic, powerful multitasking capabilities. But we had to be careful about how we've exposed these to applications because we want to preserve great battery life. Now in iOS 4, we did add support for select kinds of applications to do multitasking, things like playing music in the background or receiving a voice over IP call while your app was in the background. Well now, in iOS 7, I'm pleased to announce that we're going to have multitasking for all apps with great battery life. So how does it work? Well, imagine you have an app that you're using constantly throughout the day, a social networking app or something, and you're checking in all the time. Well, iOS 7 notices that pattern of use and is going to provide that app with frequent background activity to stay up to date. And let's say you have another app you use, maybe that you just check in on in the morning, at breakfast, maybe at night after work. Well, iOS 7 notices that too, and it's going to give that app background cycles just in time so it's up to date for when you need it. Now, in addition to this intelligent scheduling, iOS 7 does opportunistic updates. The average user wakes their device dozens of times a day, and those provide great opportunities when the system's already powered up to update apps in the background. It also adapts intelligently to network conditions. So if you have good coverage, it's a great time to fetch. And it coalesces updates across multiple applications. So once you have those radios powered up, lets multiple applications take advantage of it for their background updates. And finally, iOS 7 responds to push notifications as a trigger to give that application time in the background. So when you follow that notification, the app will already be up to date. Now, iOS 7 also has a great new user interface for moving between all the things you have going on your phone. Now, you can double-click and move into Notification Center and just swipe between your running applications, tap, and move right in. And that is multitasking in iOS 7. Next, let's talk about Safari. Safari is the most popular mobile browser in the world. And in iOS 7, we're making it even better. It has a great new full screen look, so you can really focus on your content. If you pull down or tap at the top, you can now get a smart search field. From that search field, you can get one-tap access to all of your favorites, as well as do search and access URLs. And it's a great new interface for your tabs. In addition to all of this, it has parental controls and integration with the same iCloud keychain you saw earlier with Mavericks. I'd like to give you a demo of Safari now. Let's take a look. Okay. Let's head on in to Safari. So here we are in Safari. I'm going to just zoom in on this page. I want you to watch as I scroll, how all the controls just recede, and now you have that full screen for your content. We've really improved the way you navigate now in Safari. I'm just going to tap in here to a link to a detailed story. We can even zoom in, of course, on this page. And that same gesture you saw earlier for going back, well, of course, that works in Safari as well. So I just swipe in from the edge of the display, and I can navigate back and forth through my browser history, just like that. It's such a fantastic way to browse. Next, let's look at that unified search field. I'm just going to tap up here at the top. You see how I have one-tap access to all my favorites. It's really convenient, but I'm going to type in this case. So I'll type DIS. And you notice I have a top URL hit, as well as Google search suggestions as well, available all right here. We've really improved bookmarking as well. I'll use this bookmark control down at the bottom. I see my bookmark folders, all my bookmarks. We also have shared links, so you can see stories posted by people you follow on Twitter, and my reading list. And now, just like you saw in Mavericks, on iOS, you can scroll continuously from article to article without coming back to the list. It's really awesome. Next, let's take a look at tabs. I'm going to click here at the bottom, into tabs. Unbelievable. And you're no longer limited to just 8. And down at the bottom are also all your iCloud tabs. You can see what you left open on your other devices as well. And tabs, they're really nice to use. You can just tap, just sweep into a tab, back out, back in, back out. It's just fantastic. If you want to reorder your tabs, just tap and hold. Just rearrange them like this. And if you're done with a tab, just swipe it off to the side, and it goes away. And that's the new Safari.